Through sun-baked deserts and stretched thin cattle, courage and determination will carry them southward. The trail to Mañana land begins. Weeks had passed, the long line of gaunt cattle moving south. Hunger and exhaustion marked every step. Skeletons of cows that had collapsed littered the trail, picked bare by buzzards and wolves. Lee rode along the stragglers. "Dunc, I didn't think they had another day in them. But the leaders are smelling water. They're moving faster. When we reach the river, I'll let them rest and feed." "Good," Dunc replied. "How far to the rancho?" 40 miles. Plenty of water and grass along the river." Daggett shook his head at the barren landscape. "Seems I've been traveling in a fry pan all my life." "Honest to God grass, Miss Lee?" "Filari and Grandma," Lee assured him. The eagerness of the herd became clear. The line stretched, the leaders pressing forward. Dust rose as the animals strained toward water. By sunset, the Santa Cabrillo Valley glowed in lilac haze, desert plants blossoming in brilliant colors, and the plains patterned in blue and pink alfilaria. Moonlight draped the camp as riders sat cross-legged for supper. Jim Yell wiped mosquitoes away. Rusty stretched his aching limbs, and Lee sang softly, a trail song learned over generations. "Last night as I lay on the prairie and looked at the stars in the sky, I wondered if ever a cowboy would drift to that sweet by and by." Her song soothed the restless herd and left a lasting impression on two men, Stumpy, who loved her hopelessly, and Jack Hadley, who listened quietly. Later, Jack approached Lee by the small fire. "Tough drive, Miss Lee. There were hours when odds were against us." "Good for her, she had men who knew their business," she said quietly. "If you and Dunc hadn't nursed the herd, we'd never have made it." "I was just one of your waddies." "Give Dunc the credit," he replied. "I'll give you both credit. And thank you. You may be just one of the waddies, but I know who brought this herd over the desert." She then asked about Mexico and the rumored revolution. "Will it amount to anything? You never can tell in this country. Authorities deny danger, but that usually means something's brewing. If there's trouble, Meggers will be involved. He's been a nuisance since killing Francisco and taking his place." "It may be awkward for me if trouble starts," Lee admitted, her eyes on the fire. "Meggers could levy tolls, take cattle. We can't predict luck these days." Jack smiled slightly. "Sometimes a fellow has to make his own breaks." Her gaze softened. "I'm glad you're with me." "I'm with you," he answered quietly. The trail leads deeper into danger, both from the desert and from men with secrets. Who will survive the crossing to Mañana land? Episode 7 awaits. Subscribe now for Episode 7 of Beyond the Rio Grande. Adventure, mystery, and frontier courage continue.